Aliens, get to the chopper. I'm here with
the clitoris.
and I'm the Gooch doing a terrible impression of Arnold.
Welcome to show.
There we go.
We are here to talk about the greatest action hero in the history of film.
We'll get to it.
One of the greatest.
Pump those brakes, homie.
Hold on.
Pump those brakes.
Oh, hold on.
One of the greatest.
Okay, we're going to start into it.
All right, yeah.
If he's not the greatest, tell me who is.
No,
that's not what we're here. I'm just saying he's one of the greatest.
Unless you want to start there first.
I do want to start
All
there.
right.
If you guys are disputing it, let's go.
Let's go.
Because I think he's the greatest action hero of all time.
I don't know. I think Bruce. You got to put Bruce Willis up there because even after, I mean, he hasn't done any high fantasy stuff, but I mean, Bruce Willis has done some stuff that even his old age has been good. I mean, Arnold,
So I did a little research on this, right?
Okay,
so
what'd you do?
I and my research is basically just looking at what other sites and other podcasts and other things consider the top action heroes of all time. And I was actually surprised. Everything I looked at were consistent with the top three.
all right, what is it?
Like, I'd say probably 95% of them. I don't remember how many I checked out, but most of them had the same three in this exact order, and only maybe 4 or 5 sites actually flipped the first two.
Okay.
Number 3 goes with Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 goes with Sly.
And
Number
then
1 is Arnie.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, okay. All right.
But Devo, is that actually your opinion?
My opinion, it's hard for me because, like, you look at, and this kind of blends in with the whole pre-Governator, post-Governator sort of thing. You look at pre-Governator stuff, a lot of the stuff that Arnold did, like, it's pure action. Well, actually, I take that back. Not pure action because he does Twins. He does some other films, right? But same thing with Bruce Willis. Same thing with Sly.
I mean, Bruce Willis was a comedic actor first, actually.
And you have to look at some of these like different types of roles, and it's kind of hard to see. But then you also look at people that aren't even like on that list or in the top 10, like Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude, everything he did in the 80s and 90s. No.
He's got to be top 10.
But everything in the 80s and 90s was just pure action.
Yeah.
And that's all that fool could do.
Yeah, that's all
It was
you
like
know?
martial arts action, though.
But still, I mean, and
I
plus,
feel like Arnold
another thing
defined
too.
the genre.
Another thing too is a lot of Jean-Claude stuff were all like B movies.
Yeah.
Like Cyborg and Bloodsport. Like they weren't mainstream films.
Yeah, but they're good films.
They were they're cult classics.
Some
Everybody
of them
knows and loves them.
You're right.
But you figure like when they came out,
I think it's like
Cop, baby.
I think his biggest mainstream movie was Universal Soldier. I mean, that was pretty mainstream, I believe.
And that was before Street Fighter.
That was before Street Fighter.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. And even then, he was basically a mute in that movie.
Yeah.
So, Gooch, if Arnold's not number one, who you...
Well, no, I know. Arnold is only number one for me, but I mean, I wouldn't say that. All right, I guess
He's easily in the top.
He's in the top. He's in the
Obviously top three.
Yeah, and honestly, between
If
those
not top
three,
two.
no, between Arnold's, that's what it is. Arnold, Sly, and Bruce Willis. He's number one for me.
Yeah,
between those
and
three.
I would say the same thing.
And
too.
honestly, I personally think I like Bruce Willis more than Sly, but that's not what we're arguing here. We're talking about Arnold.
Yeah.
So you're right, Clint. I take it back. Fine. The black guy always has to have his way. Affirmative action.
He didn't say Wes.
I didn't say Wesley
He didn't
Snipes.
put Wes on there.
I didn't even say he was on the list.
Oh, he's not on my list either.
Oh, he's on my list. I just didn't say whether he was or not. But good Lord.
So we'll start the pod off saying that Arnold is the greatest action star of all time.
All right.
If
okay,
anyone
yes.
disagrees with us, hit us on the social media platforms.
We're on all the bullshits, the Instagrams,
whatever,
Facebooks,
man.
Twitters.
Come with your weak-ass opinions.
Hey, let's just talk shit about any potential listeners we have. That's fine.
That's fine. I don't care.
Fuck all of them, right?
So why are we here?
Okay, so we're here to talk about the Pantheon of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So we're going to come at it from a couple different angles, but the one I'd like to start off first is let's just get into what are his top movies of all time. And so like we did with Star Wars, let's just kind of count it down backwards, from 10 down to 1, and then we will come with our consensus top 5.
Yeah, so we all chose 10 of our favorite Arnold movies, and then we're just gonna, from those 10, we're gonna make a top 5.
So let's start off with, before you give your number 10,
Okay.
give a couple honorable mentions.
Oh,
and so that way we know, like, the movie exists. Because people be like, oh, well, what about this? Like, I know, okay? I can look on Wikipedia and see what movies he's made. But it's just not on my list.
So my honorable mentions, I mean, Terminator's not in my top 10, by the way.
The original.
The original one. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not in my top 10.
Right.
Eraser is in my honorable mention. So is Terminator.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Collateral Damage and Twins. They're my honorable mention.
Okay, so what's my honorable mentions, two that like basically were number 10, but I had to actually move them down because I actually don't think they're as good as my number 10 is The Running Man and Commando.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're like right there, but
Wow.
not in my top 10.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my honorable mentions: Kindergarten Cop. You gotta put it on there because
Oh, yeah.
it's
Kindergarten
not a
Cop.
Duma. And we'll talk about this later, but it's got my favorite Arnold line ever. But it's of his top 10 greatest movies. Like
No.
Kindergarten Cop doesn't even sniff the jocks of any of those.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Um,
I mean, it's a good movie. But, yeah.
Red Sonja, where I basically thought he was Conan because by the time when I was
Well-
watching Red Sonja, I didn't know any better.
Well, it's because he was supposed to be, but they were like, "Well, we can't use that. We
Yeah.
can't use this thing." But
Couldn't
he
get the rights
he
for
was
it.
supposed to be Conan. It was supposed to be Red Sonja and
Yeah.
Conan.
And-
And honestly, and if it's on this list, you can because Red Sonja might be the name, but literally, it's Arnold with Richard Nielsen.
Well, his name
Yeah.
is Calidor.
It's Calidor.
yeah. And honestly, I really, really liked Terminator Genesis.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. A little better than Terminator 3.
Oh yeah, I thought it was definitely better. But I think universally people consider both of those movies maligned.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's same thing with Salvation. Although I thought Salvation was
Salvation
weird
was
because
really-
it was like I wanted it to be good.
I like the movie.
It just I don't know. It just didn't have it.
Yeah.
It was too much different. But Gooch, number 10.
Number 10 actually is Red Sonja. I actually love this film. I felt that it was better than what is it? Conan the Destroyer.
Was it before that?
It was after it, I believe.
Yes.
But like
Because his first two, like, so he's got
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
the year
Hercules
after.
in New
Year
York
after,
or whatever.
yeah,
But like his first two big action movies are Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer.
yeah, and it was what Conan's last fantasy movie. I mean Arnold's last fantasy. I've always loved Red Sonja.
Conan the real human.
Yeah, and he like we were said earlier, he was supposed to be Conan, but like Dino De Laurentiis said they all had the rights to, but they just didn't want to use him or something. But
Okay.
but I love Red Sonja, so Red Sonja is my number 10.
Real quick, Red Sonja and Conan are in the same universe.
They are in the same universe,
Okay.
and they've actually met in their comic books. But
And, do they make any mention to like Hyboria or any of the Conan stuff in Red Sonja? It's been forever since I've seen the movie.
I don't remember, but I doubt it because they only really mention it when Mako is talking in the prologue.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they mention like Samaria and all that stuff. But like when you're in the movie, and there is no Mako prologue in Red Sonja.
Okay.
Or epilogue or either one. So
Yeah.
there's no Mako talking.
Well, maybe that's what Keenan or not Keenan, fucking Ernie Reyes Jr. was. Maybe he was young Mako.
Yeah, maybe he was young Mako. Yeah. Clinton?
My number 10 is The Terminator, the original.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. You don't need to
classic.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
a classic movie. Yeah. Sakana.
My number 10 is Commando.
Okay.
You
Great
got
film.
young
Loved it.
Alyssa Milano.
It's a great film, yeah.
Throws that fucking steam pipe in that guy's chest. Stick around.
Stick-
that was in Terminator.
that
the
Stick Around was from Predator,
Yeah.
fool.
What does he say when he throws the pipe to the guy in Commando?
Cool off or something.
Oh, that's
or,
right. Even worse.
Or let off some steam. It was something dumb.
Did Arnold invent the one-liners?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But
Who did it before him?
I'm sure there's other movies, but
I don't know, but
Maybe like
Arnold
Charles
is the
Bronson or something like
The-
that.
the-
Clint Eastwood.
may-
Clint Eastwood probably.
maybe. But I mean, Arnold,
Arnold is the one that I mean. I think it might have been because of his limited ability in the English language that
Yeah.
it was easy for him to exploit.
Yeah.
And like almost every action movie he is in, he's got that one-liner.
Oh yeah,
Multiple.
multiple one.
If not
at least one in every movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but the funny thing is, these one-liners that he has, they sort of go back to them in multiple movies. So he have completely different characters.
Well, obviously everyone
because I was just
knows.
watching Eraser before we started watching this, and there's a scene where he's all, "Get out."
Yeah.
And it's obviously because
And the way he
says
delivers
it
it is
to-
probably
The way
just
he
like-
delivers it, yeah.
Yeah.
he says he delivers it slightly differently, but you know the reason why he says that is
Yeah.
because he could say a bunch of different.
Yeah.
Well,
bunch
it's just
of
like when he
things.
says what I'll be back. He says almost I'll be back in
Everything
a lot
he
of
does.
movies.
Yeah.
In a lot of
Yeah.
films, they say. Even in Twins, he freaking says it.
Exactly. Okay.
My number 9 is Pumping Iron. So I mean,
Pumping
I don't know if our fans out there has ever seen Pumping Iron. I don't even know what it is. It's a documentary of him becoming Mr. Universe, like in 1977, I believe. It's like in the 70s. It's like in the 70s, like late 70s, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, it's supposed
I
to
think
be
it's early 70s.
It's supposed to be. It's a documentary, but it's one of the funniest films you'll ever.
77.
77, right? Yeah, it's it's one of the funniest films you'll ever watch. I mean, look it up on YouTube. Look up Pumping Iron and Coming, and just look that up. You will not. be disappointed.
He's like almost serious.
He is
legit
serious. He's dead serious. That's what makes it funny because that was his thing. He was
like the feeling of
before he
comedy.
ever acted.
Yeah, exactly. He was Mr. Universe. This was Arnold before he was acting. It's a documentary about him going on to win Mr. Universe.
And a bunch of Lou Ferrigno's
there, and his,
Yeah.
his other buddy, the one that's a different weight class than him.
the smaller guy.
The smaller guy. They're all in it. Dude, go watch it. It's absolutely hilarious. Clint.
My number 9 is actually. See, this is funny. I have a couple movies on here that are like post-Governor, and
That's fine.
And one of them is my next one, which I don't know. It's like one of those things where like maybe you're embarrassed to say that you like it, but I don't care. I like the movie. It was a fun movie. Escape Plan, the one that he did with Sly.
Oh, that was like what 2012.
Yeah, they were like in a prison.
Right. I heard it was
I
pretty
liked
good.
it. I thought it was good. I mean, you're going there expecting to win Academy Awards? No, of course not.
Of course not.
It is what it is, and I enjoyed it.
My number 9 is Collateral Damage.
Another good one.
That's one that I think that's one of the few pre-Governor ones that you and I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
And like I've only seen it a couple times, but like looking like again like all his post-Governor stuff I haven't seen. And like there's just stuff about this movie. It's like it's a classic, just action film that you just need a fucking tall chisel guy, and Arnold fits it perfectly.
Yeah, it's just one of the lesser known of his films. It's a decent movie. Number 8 for me is Commando. I love Commando. You know, and
Melissa.
It's not even that. It's like just like dude.
Is Ray Dong Chong in that?
Ray Dong Chong's in that too.
She is, yeah.
She's super sexy. I mean, I've always liked her, dude.
This motherfucker.
And no, I love Commando.
That's Chong's daughter.
That is Cheech and Chong's.
Yeah. Tommy Chong.
Tommy
Tommy Chong.
Chong's daughter. Yes.
It's not Cheech and they did not have.
No, they didn't have a child. It's Tommy Chong.
This isn't Junior. Come on now.
All right, Clint.
My number 8 is another. That's why I'm saying you guys might not know this one. It's another post-Governor movie. It's a recent film, actually. It's called Aftermath. And I really liked it because it actually tells this true story of
Eminem and Dr. Dre. Aftermath Records.
No, it wasn't.
Is this the one with when he's like the sheriff and
No,
okay.
that's a different one.
Oh,
But
okay.
this one is actually he's like a so like there's a real story where what are the traffic control operators? This guy like fucked up and 2 planes collided in the air.
Okay.
And I guess this really happened.
Oops.
And so they collided in midair, and there was a guy who his daughter and his wife were on the plane.
Okay.
And the daughter was pregnant, and they both died.
Okay.
And so Arnold like, obviously he's destroyed by this, and he finds the guy who was the traffic control operator who also had a bunch of problems, and he kills him.
Okay.
And like that really happened.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a real story based on that. It was a really good movie, not an action movie at all.
Oh, okay.
Not an action,
Interesting.
completely dramatic film.
All right.
But I really liked it, and I thought that Arnold, as an old man, pulled it off. And the thing is, the character was Russian.
Okay.
But I think the real guy was Russian, but I think in the movie they probably made him like Austrian or German or whatever. The
Right.
hell.
Yeah.
But
Just
like it made sense.
fit to Arnold's strength.
Yeah. It
Well, I mean,
actually made sense.
He played a Russian in Red Heat, and he did a decent job in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red meat. Is he old Arnold?
Yeah, he's old Arnold.
Nice.
It's Old Man
I like
Arnold.
that. I like
You
that.
should actually anyone that hasn't seen it, you should just check it out.
All right.
I might pop it in when I get
It's
home.
pretty. It was a good movie. I liked it.
All right, number 8.
My number 8's Twins.
Twins.
Dude,
baby.
Danny DeVito, like I think. I mean, Red Heat was kind of a comedic role because he was with Jim Belushi. And then, like,
Red Heat? Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like and like him being like sort of like half actiony and half comedy. But this was like, from what I can recall, his first true comedy role.
Yeah, it was all full on
and like he nails it. He knocks it out of the park. And like he's got Danny DeVito as his opposite. It's like it works really well, and still it's hilarious. To this day I still love that movie.
You're gonna watch Triplets?
Yep.
I figured.
Dude, it's
Are they
Eddie.
making that?
Yeah, dude, Eddie's
Eddie's
the triplet.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He's like the worst of the worst waste that was left over. Even worse than
God.
Danny DeVito.
All right, number 7, Gooch.
The Running Man. Clint was saying that this is a classic Arnold movie.
It
dude.
is. I'm just saying it wasn't one of my top 10.
And it's so 80s action. You know,
This is such a perfect film.
it's a great film, and
But it's super 80s.
it's super 80s. I mean, if you like Arnold movies, you're gonna like this movie. But if you're
like 20 and you never saw it, you're gonna be like, oh, this is terrible.
It's gonna feel dated, mind you. But I mean, as a young man or a young kid, I watch this film, and then they base some games off of this. A lot of Arnold movies, mind you. They base a ton of games off of Commando. And this they base what is it called?
Wasn't there a Commodore 64 game about Running Man?
There was. I mean, it was a terrible game. I mean, there was a
obviously.
Nintendo game off of Running Man, but like they based Smash TV off of Running Man, and that was a great game. If you guys ever played the game, I don't know if you guys, but
We should do that for a beer gargle game.
Running Man, amazing movie.
He is Sub-Zero. Now he's just Zero.
Plain Zero.
Do you want to like quickly explain like what the premise of the movie was?
All right, so there.
Exactly. Right now, you're already laughing. You see?
Well, the problem
That's
is
why- that's why-
This
no.
line is so
You
awesome.
go watch the movie. Don't just go watch it. It's a great film. It is aged, but it's a great. Just go watch it. Believe me, you're gonna. Dude, at the beginning, like one of the beginning scenes, there's a guy with a collar on his neck. This fool's running. The collar blows up.
Yeah, and his head blows off. Yeah.
I mean, that's all you have to say.
And the movie's got Mick
That's all you
Fleetwood.
had to say.
The movie's got Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
It's got Dweezil Zappa.
Dweezil Zappa, yeah.
Frank Zappa's kid.
Yeah,
his
so-
first acting role.
And this is so funny.
It's great.
My number 7, Bumping
Bumping
Iron.
Iron, of course, dude.
You got it. My number 7, Terminator 2.
Good.
That's
What?
I mean,
Like
that
low?
it's kind of like
Well,
kind of low on your list.
But to be honest,
but like in terms of an Arnold movie,
Yeah.
like he just plays a robot.
Yeah, I
Like Arnold doesn't really make that movie. It's the story. It's the other
Still a good
characters.
movie.
It is, but these are Arnold movies that we're talking about, not just movies with Arnold.
I mean,
in
everyone looks at the criteria for everyone's list is different.
it. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
fair
and
enough.
for me, and I mean, don't get me wrong.
For me, it's just about good movie.
It's my favorite Terminator movie, top one. They base a lot of like all the outside of the movies, like the video games and the comics and all that stuff. I feel is based off Terminator 2, and yeah,
good.
My number, what we got?
6.
6. The Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. I know this is.
Wow.
What I actually like.
Claire Danes.
I love this movie. Actually,
You have Terminator 3 higher on your list than this fool even has Terminator 2.
Well, I mean,
again,
it's the
go ahead,
way it is.
continue.
So,
the
okay,
connoisseur of Arnold.
the thing is though with Terminator 3 was that it explained a lot of how Skynet is continued on.
Yeah.
You know, and even after Judgment Day, which was in Terminator 2, there's no stopping it.
Yep.
There was absolutely no stopping it.
Yeah.
And
Except for when they changed the whole story.
except for exactly.
completely,
I mean,
retconned the whole damn thing.
there's time travel and shit like that, but in this one, the time travel had nothing to do with it. There was nothing stopping Skynet in this one.
Yep.
And I like that.
And I like the only like plan that they had, it wasn't to stop Skynet.
Exactly.
It was to survive.
It was just to survive. So they went. I mean, that was best. That was
the only contingency. They knew that they couldn't win.
They couldn't win.
That's crazy.
And I always thought that was a great story. I'm like, it's a dismal end for humanity because there was nothing that the humans or anything they knew. The end was here.
So awesome.
It was a great film. I love that movie.
My number 6 is a movie that I just think my number 6. This movie I think is the one that I've probably seen on TV the most. It's the one that as a little kid,
The Last Action Hero.
No, not
Jingle All the Way.
It's not even mentioned. Not even and
Not
I think
even
that
mentioned.
it like there was this thing about it that was like so funny, but not in a lot of ways because of him, because of Arnold himself.
Jingle all the way.
I said Jingle All the Way.
But it's Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, Kindergarten Cop.
I just love the movie. And I don't know. There's just something about it that was just a lot different than all the. It was this weird thing where the movie itself was completely different than most of his other movies,
Yeah.
but the character himself was just as much of a badass theoretically
Yeah.
as some of the other characters.
Well,
in
the beginning
movies.
of the movie, he actually starts like in a Terminator. You're like he has a
It's
gun.
Detective John Kimball. Yeah, exactly.
He has a duster. He's wearing his dark glasses,
And he just walks into that club and just starts killing everyone.
it's like the drug den, and he's just literally shooting
shooting everyone with the
motherfuckers.
shotgun,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts like that, and then it turns into him being a kindergarten teacher.
that's basically it.
That's it. That's the premise.
know.
And he falls in love with a girl, and he likes the kid.
I mean, I
and-
guess it's one of those movies that's like kind of polarizing. Like a lot of people that like Arnold movies will probably hate that movie.
Well, no, I don't hate it. I love Arnold. I think it's a good movie.
But I love it, and I just think it's one of my favorites.
It's just with all the movies he's done, it doesn't crack the top 10.
No, it's a good film.
All right, my number 6 is Big Guns. You know where that's from? It's AC/DC, baby. Last Action Hero.
This is not very
Big
good.
guns kick the hell out of you.
Movie's
Number 6?
That movie's
Number
fucking
6.
terrible.
So good. No, it's so good.
Arnold lover, and I
That's
think
gonna
that
be on
movie's
my worst
terrible.
Arnold movie
That's a good
list.
though. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
That's on that one. Jingle All the Way.
Dude, I used to watch
Movie's
Last
so
Action Hero all the time.
That's definitely not gonna be in our top 5. That's scratched right now. Scratched out. Done.
It's got Bridget Wilson in it, though. Fool.
Give a fuck. This shit's done. This is a terrible film. All right, my number 5. Total Recall. Ooh. My number 5.
Ooh.
Welcome to the party, Rick. It's a great film, dude. This film, it's funny because the way they explain it, because there was one released in 2009 or 2008 with
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, and what happened was I don't want to ruin it, but you're gonna get it ruined. They're still good films, by the way.
Yes, they're both really good.
They're good
this-
films.
spoiler-
So supposedly, I think what they said was that the Arnold film is what happened in the dream.
Yes.
And then Colin Farrell's movie is what actually happened in real life.
Colin Farrell's film is more closely related to the original Philip K. Dick story.
Exactly. So, but all in all, it's a great sci-fi film, great action film.
Yep.
I mean, it
Chick with 3 titties.
I mean, they're all paper mache, so it doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, Quato, yeah.
Yeah.
Open your mind. Turn on the reactor. Ramos. Great movie.
And I don't remember the name of the actress, but the chick that like his chick in the movie. Like,
yeah.
huge crush on.
Oh, she's good. She was hot. She was in Con Air too. Yeah, she's in.
I don't
Aliens?
remember that. No, You're thinking that's the mom from Terminator.
Yeah, that's the one from
yeah,
Terminator 2. Yeah.
They're all the fucking same to me.
Yeah.
They're 80s fucking
Wow.
stars.
Wow, what a dick.
Number 5 for me, Predator.
Oh, wow. It's so low.
I don't think it's low. It's top 5, but
Predator 2.
I just like all the other ones on my list better.
Wow, Predator is amazing. I love Predator. Well, I don't know. Go, Clint. Explain yourself.
What?
Explain yourself.
It's awesome.
It's a
I
great
fucking love
film,
it. It's just all the other 4,
You know- and
even
you know-
better.
And you know, the thing is,
I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with it.
It started a super franchise, too. I mean, it's a shame that
I can't wait for the new one.
after 2, I like Aliens vs. Predator. I know a lot of people hate it, but I like that. I like that movie.
Yeah.
The original one.
The original.
The second
yeah.
one's
The
not
second one, it's okay. And then Predators, I thought was good too.
Predators
it
is
was
really
a great
good.
film.
Yeah.
Predators is fantastic. Adrian Brody?
With Adrian Brody, yeah.
Predator 2.
Predator 2, and Predators and AVP are good movies. They're great action films.
Yeah.
But, Devo.
My number 5. Wrong. What's best in life?
Conan number 5.
The Barbarian.
Any shit about Predator
You
being
guys make
low.
me fucking sick. Crom, I'll trade
but
you before.
you know me. I don't like all the wizards and swords
you
and
don't
dragons
like that.
fucking bullshit.
I mean, I grew up watching. I mean, my first
laughs at you forward.
my first film. Well, we watched it when we were young. I remember this shit came out in '81, so that's when I was born. But I mean, we rented it with my dad. And my dad, we put it on, and my dad, we were watching from a video. So like all the heads getting cut off, all the titties everywhere. I mean, we were like 6 years old, 4 or 5. I don't know. My brother was 6. I was 4 at the time, watching Conan the Barbarian for uncut.
What is best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them dream before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. So that was that's what 5?
Yeah.
5.
Number 4 is Terminator 2 for me.
Damn.
I like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Because I mean, although you guys say that it really has to do with Arnold, because it really has to do with
No. Devo said that.
okay, Devo.
I didn't say that.
Well, no, it's true though. I mean,
See?
it has to do.
You should have said it because I'm smart, motherfucker.
But it showed that Arnold didn't really have to do all that much action because he was Arnold. He was like.
I'm sorry, Arnold makes a whole fucking movie.
Hey, maybe without
makes a whole fucking
without
movie.
Arnold. I mean, that's the reason why they had to put him old man Arnold in these other movies. You know,
Yeah.
because he's the fucking Terminator. You know, you can put whatever Terminator on there. I mean, the T-1000 was cool, but no one came to watch T-1000.
No.
It was fucking
Nobody
Arnold.
knew fucking Robert Patrick at that point.
Exactly. So
Hasta la vista.
I mean,
baby.
It's Arnold that made this movie. It was Arnold that made it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Linda Hamilton did a good job, and the fucking druggie.
Dr. Miles Bennett Dyson.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
too.
he was dope.
He was dope. So I mean, they were all good actors, and honestly, they played well with Arnold. So I think that's
And the fucking redhead from Don't Salute Your Shorts.
Oh yeah, Nikki Coxville. Yeah. No, she's not in there.
No.
Chill out, dickwad.
Oh, wait, what's he? The redhead kid, the Johnny.
Oh, I thought about the chick. No, yeah. I don't know what the guy's name is.
She married Bobcat Goldthwait.
The kid with the fucking the
mullet. Yeah,
the guy
I don't know the guy.
Really
but he was from
down.
Salute My Shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. Was Filter around then? Clint? 90s?
92.
92?
Barely starting.
91.
Barely starting.
Richard was probably still in at that point.
Could potentially still have been in.
Yeah.
My number 4. We're at number 4.
Yes.
Total Recall. That's why I have it. That's why I put it at 5. I just think Total Recall is better.
Oh, okay.
I just like Total Recall better. I've seen it more times. It's more. There's like so many things in Total Recall that like you just can never unsee.
Right.
I mean, obviously, when he gets thrown out in the fucking,
He's in a spacesuit and he gets tossed out into the landscape of Mars, but the shit cracks, and he and his chick, they're like, and their eyes pop out of the skull.
Oh, you're talking about Total Recall?
Total Recall. Yeah, Total Recall.
Because they're Mars.
Oh yeah. Oh, so I heard True Lies. I'm sorry. I was looking at
Total Recall.
Total Recall. Yeah. No, Total Recall's
It's
fine.
my number 4.
No, but
He's fine. He says.
I don't know if it's better than Predators, but I like Total Recall. Yeah. I can see where that is.
I just like it better. I don't know if it's better. It's just, I
you
like
like
it
it,
better.
Yeah. My number 4, Total Recall.
There you go. Wow. Okay. That's gonna be a top 5.
Again, we've already talked about this ad nauseum, but it's a great sci-fi film. There's a lot of staples of that movie. One thing I didn't know is that the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager is Johnny Cab.
Oh yeah, the voice, right?
Yeah, the voice, and they modeled the Johnny Cab after him as well.
I don't know if you guys remember. You guys obviously remember this. Remember the scene where the guy comes in and he's like talking shit to Arnold and trying to punk him, and then Arnold sees the drop of sweat come down his.
Yes.
Oh, the guy from Recall.
It was just so fucking intense, man.
Yeah.
It's just one of those scenes.
That fool just pulls out the gun, and blows his brains out.
Yeah,
She was awesome.
they do the same exact scene in the Colin Farrell one. It doesn't play out as well because it's like a major like police standoff and stuff, and it's just
the
like
station,
and plus like it was supposed to be his like in the Colin Farrell movie, it's his boy, right? And that sweats and he blasts, but like in this one, it's that that fat sloppy fucking doctor that weasel guy that's like trying to like talk him out of it.
He's the guy that's in the Recall commercial. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's
and
the one
plus there's that scene with Sharon Stone where she's like I forgot what she
she's
said,
in the movie.
but she's like, will you tie me up? She takes her little like
she's hot in that too.
I'm like,
where she's like practicing that tennis.
Oh yes, that virtual tennis.
Yeah, she was hot in that one. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff in that movie just in terms of storyline and in terms of just the technology that like as a young person when it came out, because we were like 8 or 9 years old when it came out, we just never even
like the whole X-ray scene.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was you see him walking around. It's like, oh, that's real. Oh my gosh, they're looking at his bones. Like I thought it was real.
Yeah, and then like how they have like the TVs or the walls and stuff like that. You just never thought of it when you were that young. You just couldn't.
Look at nowadays.
Exactly. Now it's fucking real.
TVs and walls.
Yeah, exactly. So, Devo,
we're the
number 3.
top 3, right? Okay, so number 3 for me is True Lies. You were absolutely right. I love True Lies. It was a great film.
Perfect blend of action and comedy.
I love it.
Tom Arnold.
I mean the way it portrays it, like they put Tom Arnold, Jamie Lee Curtis, which looks super hot in that movie.
Oh my God.
So hot in there.
That whole dancing scene. It's awkward watching it with my father, and he's like, "Oh, she's so hot." I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to hide my boner."
Yeah, it's just so hot. But Arnold, I mean,
she was tip top right there.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it's so outrageous. So at the end of the opening scene, this fool is running away from a bunch of dogs. And in the beginning, when they're in the snow, he's running away a bunch of dogs, like 2 Doberman. He turns around, stops. The 2 Doberman jump at him, and he grabs the Dobermans like head together, and they not get knocked out. I mean, it's quintessential art.
The shit with
Bill
him,
Paxton.
Yes, I was going to say when they're driving.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton. It was just so funny. Fool pissed himself and everything. And remember the truth serum?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just classic.
It's classic.
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna use you as a human shield.
Yeah.
How you plan to do that? You know, my handcuffs.
I picked them.
Boom! It's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
And then Elijah Dushku.
Yeah,
a young one. Yeah.
She got molested. Though.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
But like I've always had a crush on her. Like
she was
like everything she's done. Like
you gotta go see her in
gorgeous. She's good.
Oh yeah.
Like Naked good?
I can't remember quite.
Highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
We're gentlemen here.
Well, we didn't know. It's not like we did it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I didn't make.
Yeah, we didn't do. We were.
No,
we were as young as
I'm
her.
not saying that, but I'm just saying. Like,
Well, yeah, we were young.
not
As, we were as young as
exploiting
her
women.
when Lister came out.
Yeah.
My number 3, same. True
True Lies. Yeah, that's a good number 3.
My number 3, I'll be back. Only in the sequels, my friend. Running Man.
Yeah, love Running
Oh, sorry,
Man.
only in reruns. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or syndication. I don't fucking know what he says.
Running Man's your number 3.
Yeah, dude, I love, dude, I seriously love the Running Man.
Man's a great
Dude,
fucking
I love the
film,
Running
dude.
Man, dude. Fucking Richard Dawson's great in that movie. You got Jesse the Body Ventura in that movie. Like
What is it, Captain?
not Captain America, Captain USA or something.
Yeah,
like that. No, like Captain Patriot or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That's what we forgot about Predator. Fucking sexual tyrannosaur.
Well, I didn't forget about
Yeah.
it.
Well, I didn't forget.
I
about
forget
it.
about it.
Mention it.
But
You haven't mentioned it.
Yeah, I haven't
but like
forgotten about it.
I loved, even as a kid, like I loved the concept of the
Yeah,
movie.
it's
like,
such a
like,
great film.
And you know, even if it's like to the death, you know, but it's like you kind of look at how things are now, like with reality television and shit like that. Like the Running Man, like we could very much well have a show like that sometime in the near
where,
future.
where people just go and kill each other and to win.
And but you know, on the in the movie they make it look like the people actually get away and they
Yeah.
survive and like, look, I'm on Hawaii, but they're still in the Running Man suits and shit like that. But like you find out that it's all like, you know, digitally altered.
It was a way to control the populace and all that. It's a great film, dude.
Or like when Richard Dawson goes with that old lady, he's like, who are you gonna bet on, sweetheart? She's like, whatever. What was his name?
It was
Richard.
It was either Pyro, Dynamo,
or Richard. What's Arnold's name in the movie?
Ben Richards.
Ben Richards.
Ben Richards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Ben Richards. Well, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You gotta, you know, you can't vote for Running Man, but I'm gonna vote for Ben Richards because he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. This old lady says that, and the guy's he's like, I can vote whoever the fuck I want. All right, so we're at number two. Predator, dude. Predator is my number 2. To this day, if Predator's on TV, I will watch Predator, even if it's in the back. I absolutely love this film.
I love Mac.
No, all the characters.
I love all the characters. Billy.
I see you.
Billy, Mac, Carl Lewis's character, which was like this buff ass.
Weathers.
Carl Weathers, but it was just like this buff CIA agent and shit.
So awesome.
Asshole, doesn't make any sense. This was super buff, right? And like when you first meet him, get introduced to both of them. Fucking Arnold is in there, with his chewing
Big
on
ass
his
cigar.
It's like a quintessential Arnold movie, you know. And some of the best lines from any action movie are in this film.
Yeah.
You know, with Arnold Sam, or whether it be Jesse the Body Ventura talking about being a sexual tyrannosaurus, you know, and it's a great film, and like the Predator was one of the best enemies of all time.
Yeah,
Still is.
Yeah.
It still is. Yeah, and
even any Predator, since they're all different.
They're all different. Any Predator, because obviously
Yeah,
Arnold.
that Predator is just only in that movie.
Yeah, it's only in that one because obviously Arnold killed him, and then obviously there's more with the Danny Glover movie in part 2.
Yeah.
And then even more in the Predators.
Even more in Predators.
Oh, well, and then that AVP.
In AVP, you saw a bunch more.
Yeah.
AVP 2, you saw like AVP
clan.
1, you saw
You saw a clan.
the spaceship come, and they're like, you know, the old ones came out and shit.
Well, in
You saw
AVP
a
as well.
clan.
And AVP as well, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first one.
Oh yeah. Number 2.
Terminator 2.
Oh wow, okay.
I remember that movie. Actually, it's funny because, well, first of all, like when the movie first came out, like it was one of the most anticipated movies. I wanted to go see it in the theater. Of course, it's fucking rated R. You can't, especially when you're like fucking like the movie came out in 90.
91.
You're like
Yeah.
9 years old. And
Yeah.
shit like that. It's kind of actually. It could be a little bit too much at that time. Like, well, with what people expected from movies then, like now it's probably kind of tame. But back then, you know, 1990, it's kind of intense, you know, for a 9-year-old kid. But I remember the first time I saw. I mean, but the funny thing is there's like a kid in there that's like close to our age at the time. That's kind of that centers around it. And I just remember watching the movie and this whole idea of like the T-1000 and the liquid metal, like, you know, that type of, you know, that CG technology hadn't been seen.
You know what
in a movie before.
What the fun thing
Right,
about Terminator 2 was that they wanted to keep the violence down. So I mean, it was still rated R, mind you, but
There's not as much blood.
there's not that much. I mean, there's
Yeah.
killing and stuff. But Arnold doesn't kill anyone technically because the dumb kid fucking tells him not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, Arnold kills no one.
He was shooting people, blowing their fucking kneecaps off. and shit like
exactly.
that.
I mean, he was shooting them, but they was keeping him alive. So technically, I mean, it's violent per se, But I mean, the ones that kill him is the T-1000.
I mean, there was some disturbing shit. I remember the scene where the old boy like licks what's her face's face.
I think
it was disturbing.
I think-
Yeah.
especially when you're young.
I think the
'Cause
worst.
that's like that's for me that's like the first, as weird as it sounds, like the first sexual assault I've ever seen on camera.
yeah, it could be.
It's really weird, but like that's a I don't know. That's
It
just
is
like,
sexual assault.
I think
the scene where the bomb goes off.
Oh, and she's like at the gate.
That shit gave me nightmares.
Oh, that's a good scene. I think the worst scene I remember when I was a little kid was the one where the T-1000's breaking into the insane asylum and he kills the night watchman by sticking his finger through the guy's eye.
Yes.
And the guy's like hanging off the eye.
With like
For me-
well, he
that
had like a thing, something in his hand.
Yeah, he
right?
was
And it
wa-
went through the thing in his hand,
and it went
Well,
through-
no, you're thinking of the mom.
No, the mom was like in the face. The guy.
Well, no, so the mom is drinking milk.
No,
And he does a blade through the milk into
Yeah,
her head.
yeah.
But like what's cool is like on the side of the carton you see John Connor's face
Yeah,
like, missing
yeah.
and stuff like that.
But that was a cool one.
yeah,
But
but
this
that like freaked me out.
no, but the one that he stuck it straight through the guy's eye was like, so that was crazy.
Love the sound effect.
All right, Devo, you're number 2.
My number. Did you do number 2, Clint?
Yeah, it
Or
was
you did
Terminator
number
2.
Yeah, my number 2, True Lies.
Oh wow, okay.
You have a higher than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a great movie.
It's his
love the
greatest
movie.
comedy. It's a great movie, like all around movie. It's a really good movie. Like all the supporting actors, but even in terms of like Arnold, you get a great mix of action, great mix of comedy. It's like to me, the number 2 quintessential comedy, or sorry,
Arnold
number 2
movie.
quintessential Arnold movie.
My all-time favorite Arnold movie,
Umro Nuno.
by far,
You know,
Conan the Barbarian. By
obviously,
far.
obviously.
Yes.
By far, Conan the Barbarian.
From the moment it starts with the music, the blacksmith opening credits, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. I mean, the music,
Tulsa Doom.
the music sets a tone. I mean, they picked the perfect.
Darth Vader.
Remember the first time
Yeah.
you see him? It's like the little kid pushing the wheel.
Yeah, and
and
he-
then all
and
of
he-
a sudden it's
He's an adult.
It's
He-
Arnold.
and he's
just
growing. And then
ripped his shit.
they throw him into that pit, and the fool. He has
just
like
did it by himself.
He has like no weapons, and he just.
Oh, the first time he did-
The first time he
oh,
has
the
like
pit
no
fighting.
weapon. Yeah, the pit fighting, and that fool like bites him.
If you
like,
made like a Netflix show, that whole pit fighting part could be like a 4 or 5 episode.
Yeah,
part.
and in honestly, if you guys have never seen Conan the Barbarian, and now you see you don't get to see many like high fantasy movies anymore. I mean, I guess
the
there's
weapons
the Lord of the
they're
Ring,
using?
the Lord of the Rings stuff. I guess could be called high fantasy, but it's nothing compared to Conan the Barbarian.
I wouldn't even like, as much as I don't like fantasy, I wouldn't even call Conan the Barbarian high fantasy.
I just.
Because it's fantasy. Because it's like I don't know.
they're not
I
using
mean,
magic as much.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
like
that's
there's
not a movie.
there's
I
a
mean-
magician, but like you look at Lord of the Rings, like Lord of the Rings is high fantasy because you got like fucking like everything is like elves
I was
and
gonna say
orcs
it like
and
that.
guys
So
like that.
it's,
But like
and it's not like a night movie either, but
exactly, but there's still magic.
Yeah, there's a
it's
little
very
magic,
whether you consider it like magic or religion or whatever, but there's still like those kind of overtones.
World of
And
Warcraft
it's-
movie was high fantasy.
high fantasy. Yeah.
I would say that, yes.
and
yes.
like I like. What I would say is that if you had to start with an Arnold movie to watch, if you've never seen an Arnold movie, I would start with Conan
and
the Barbarian.
it's technically his very first action movie.
Yeah, and
It's really what made his whole career.
yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's such a great movie.
And he was just so big.
Yeah, he was
in that
big.
movie. Because some of the movies in the 90s, not nearly as big.
no, I mean he had to.
He trimmed down. For
He
sure.
had to trim. He trimmed down. He had to get bigger. Like for when he did. He had trimmed down for.
Like Eraser, he's not that big.
No, I mean he raced her.
You can see in his
was
face,
getting
he's
old
pretty
there
trim.
though.
Well, he was still pretty trim then, though.
Yeah,
His face,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But back then, with like.
Well, I mean it was
Barbarian,
81. I mean, come
I
on.
mean, he's
now.
just a fucking monster
Yeah.
right there. My number one's Conan as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I love the movie. It's one of my favorite. Probably a top 10 movie for me.
Yeah,
period.
I agree. It's one of the top 10 movies.
it's
Top
just-
5
it's
movies of
just-
all time for me.
There's just so many
So I
scenes
put
in
number
there,
5?
and you know the like for instance, one of the scenes that like always sticks with me is the Tulsa Doom scene where like they first catch Arnold, and he's like giving him this talk about steel versus the flesh.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Riddle of Steel.
And he's like, "Oh, the riddle of steel, you know it, don't you?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Flesh it," and he tells the girl to jump off, and she falls, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You see that?" He's like, "That's power." That's,
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Fuck, this is like really good writing." Like,
It's
maybe people make
really
fun of it
good.
now. That shit
No,
is dope.
that
to
was.
me.
And plus, you have what James Earl Jones as
I mean,
Tulsa
just-
with his
Little
voice, dude.
Terrible ass haircut.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that's a wig, fool.
yeah, you know, God,
Yeah, no fucking hair. That's a wig. But no, I love.
And the scene where he kills that huge snake.
Yeah, dude.
That shit's
orgy.
crazy.
They
It's
don't.
just insane.
They
It's
don't
just-
do that anymore. They had
With the
one
animatronic?
They,
Oh, it's
yeah,
just
they,
great.
they had one take, and it's not like now where it's like, see, this fool. They had,
shit was bloody,
They
too.
made a big ass snake with like umbilicals and stuff like that, full of fake blood. While he's cutting with his sword and
he's like hanging off of it though too.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's wrestling around with it. Yeah,
he's wrestling around with it. And they have the Subutai, which is his partner there, like shooting with arrows. Like they're like real close to his face. So,
I will say this though.
It's true.
I will say this though. Skip the Jason Momoa Conan.
Oh, that's terrible. No, that's a terrible. I mean, that's
garbage.
That's a terrible movie.
It's rough, dude. It's really rough.
And as for Conan's, like I said, I don't particularly like Conan the Destroyer because they made it PG-13, so they aimed it at younger kids, which I think ruined it.
And that's not what Conan's about.
No, exactly. I mean, Arnold said that it was, what are you guys doing? Don't aim it for kids. This is an adult movie.
The castle was still pretty cool.
I mean, the castle was cool.
Castle part, but
the chick walking around with no bra.
The premise was a good premise. It's just that since they made it PG-13, they kneecapped the movie.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
But the original is just
Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's a piece.
And the great thing is the ending.
Film that's
art.
amazing. It's art.
The ending where you just see him as King Conan.
Oh yeah,
and they have that epilogue. It's just fucking perfect.
I'm really hoping that that's how they start.
It's still on Amazon or not Amazon, IMDb. That it's the next Conan. He's going to be King Conan.
He's going to be King Conan. Yeah,
that's what they keep saying. But we still haven't heard anything really official about it. So we'll see.
I pray, Devo.
My number one, Predator. Predator, dude. Like, to me, greatest action movie. Like, I remember my dad took me to go see that in the theater when I was 6.
Wow.
Fucking, like, there's everything. Like, the Predator is, like, to me, like the coolest alien villain out there.
Yeah.
The weaponry that it has, even like Predator 2, you look at like the disc that it has, the net thing, the spear. Fucking, even in that movie, like it not an Arnold movie, but like everything in Predator 2 is awesome. Love AVP. But like Arnold's just super badass in Predator. All the supporting characters are great. Yeah. Carl Weathers obviously badass. Jesse Ventura badass. Mac badass. The dude with the glasses who's going to be making fucking the next Predator movie. You know about that?
Yeah.
Fucking, you got a head full of acid. The guy in Predator with the glasses,
dude. He was the writer for Lethal Weapon, by the way.
He was.
He's the writer for Lethal Weapon.
He's writing and directing the next Predator movie.
Yeah. That guy, the guy that was the guy that was like the communications officer.
Yeah.
He was the one
he's the one with the 2 MP5s.
Yeah, he's like, hey Billy, I talked to my wife today and I was eating her out and I said,
that fucking
guy. Boy, you really have a big pussy. And she's like, why did I say it twice? I'm like, I didn't. That fucking guy. Yeah.
And even Billy, dude. Billy was awesome.
Yeah, dude. And even the story behind that guy, they like
Billy's in the 48 Hours.
Yeah, he is.
What's that? 48 hours.
48 Hours?
You never seen it 48 Hours? Or is it another or is it just 48 hours?
Oh! Yeah, he's in it.
I was thinking Arnold movies.
No, sorry. But he was in the movie. Yeah. But I was going to say, like, there's a story behind...
He died, though. I think he's dead.
There's a story with that guy because I guess that guy was like a criminal or something. So what happened was that they hired guards so that he didn't get into trouble. So literally the guards were to guard him from messing with the other
like all the actors
and not getting into trouble.
Because he was just a dangerous human being.
Yeah.
And whatever reason you got to put him in the movies.
Yeah. Well, he did a good job in there. Billy was great.
I mean, he acted in some movies.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Top 5.
Okay, so now the consensus.
Yes.
It's Deviant. Welcome to the show. Deviant, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
No, we just went to get some more beer.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 Arnold movies of all time. Number 5. Terminator 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for me it was like number 4 for me.
For me it was number 2.
Let me check it
It was number 7.
Yeah. So I mean that equals to number 5.
Yeah.
Number 4. Total Recall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 4.
It was my number 5. Yeah. So there you go. That's a great film.
Number 3. Predator.
Yep.
Yeah.
My top
Devo's
movie.
number 1.
My number 1.
And it was not my number 2.
And my number 5.
Yeah.
Number 2. True Lies.
My number 2.
That's a great film.
My number 3.
My number 3. Yeah.
Yep.
And number 1 of all time.
Gotta be Conan.
But where was it on your list?
5.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So 2 1s and a 5.
Me and Gooch had it at number 1.
Yeah, we were. It was
so
number 1.
you can't tear it down.
And I think most people would probably consider it his most well-known work.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Other than maybe Terminator 2.
I think probably Terminator 2 probably
Terminator 2,
is. Yeah.
But like you say Arnold, you think Conan, you think Terminator.
Yeah.
Like those are the things, and probably Predator. Even though he's like the Predator is the main thing in that movie, but like you think Conan, like the only thing that pops in your head is Arnold.
I mean, and this list, I would say that if you've never seen an Arnold movie, like just go down this list, either from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5, and you'll have a good time.
Because a lot of people,
You'll enjoy yourself.
People won't know him as these characters.
Yeah, because you might
They'll know him as the governor, or whatever.
Exactly. They might have grown up and I watched them.
Or he's in Expendables.
Yeah,
or
watch him in Expendables, or even in Collateral Damage and these other films. But I mean, they were like, oh, they're my dad's films, type of thing. But watch these ones, so they're highly enjoyable.
Yeah,
highly enjoyable.
Let's just go into this right now. So given this, what do you guys think is his best franchise? Best film franchise?
Easy. Terminator.
Easy.
Yeah. Because it's the only one where he's made more, like outside of Expendables. In Expendables, he has cameos in 2 of the 3 films
he made 2
he's been in.
Conans.
He made 2 Conans, but still, like
it ended there,
like,
though.
It ended there, and like we talked about off mic, where Conan 1 was a truer Conan story.
Yeah.
Conan 2 was hey, let's market this more towards kids.
Kids, yeah.
Because we're gonna end up making Conan cartoons and toys and shit like that.
Yep.
Terminator has always been about the Terminator.
Yeah.
James Cameron did the first 2, and then even the third one that came in, it was still more about okay, here's this T-800, and we're still continuing its storyline. He's in Terminator Genesis. You look at outside the movies, Terminator 2, the video game, there's an arcade game that Arnold is in.
Yeah.
He's in the Terminator 3D experience at Universal Studios, where it's an actual story that continues from Terminator 2. Everything, you think,
I've been to that. It's fucking cool, actually.
It's really bad.
And even Terminator through Salvation,
he was in it. And people didn't even.
He was. I mean, his
likeness.
It's his T-100 likeness.
Yes.
No, T-800.
T-800. Well,
he's always been a
it's the
T-800.
very first Terminator.
The very first
which
Terminator.
is a T-800.
T-800.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's in there. So to say that there's a Terminator without Arnold,
It hasn't happened.
it hasn't happened. I mean, the TV show was good, mind you. I liked it. And there was
he in it?
He wasn't in it.
He wasn't. No.
The
But
TV show was good.
I'm sure eventually they may have put him in it.
It got canceled before. I think it would have got to that point to where, because I remember before they had the Doctor, who was fucking what's her name? Tim Burton's chick.
Oh yeah, from Salvation.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was the Doctor that I think made what's his name? The guy from Avatar.
Sam Worthington?
Yes, to a Terminator.
Yeah.
She was the one that created the whole human Terminator looking thing, because before that they were all the machines.
Yeah.
Before that actually
HKs and
happened,
shit like that.
the precedence was that the Arnold model was modeled after the Doctor, who actually got the human flesh on the skeleton, which was supposed to be.
That was what they showed in Terminator 3, right?
No, they don't show that. But that
I mean,
this is like canon, right?
No, but yeah,
I'm sorry, this is like Terminator EU.
Because the stuff in Terminator 3 they cut out. Because there was a part in Terminator 3 that they cut out, was where in the movie there's a part where the colonel, the dad, looks at Arnold and says, "Oh, what are you doing, Sergeant Captain Candy," or something like that, right? And you're like, that's odd for him to say, but there's parts of the movie they cut out that it shows that there was this guy, part of the military, that is this he was head of research or something. That was Arnold. Right,
The real person.
the real person was like Arnold, and they mimicked him after this guy, right?
Yeah.
This because he was just big, imposing dude. So what happened was that there was the researcher that wasn't looking like Arnold, and then there was the his helper that was Arnold, that looked imposing. So why don't we model him off to this guy? And he was like Captain Candy. It was some stupid ass fucking name, right?
Candyland.
And what the funny thing about it was that in that movie was in that cutscene is that they have him talking like a fucking hick, and they got seriously. I mean, I look it up. If you look up Terminator 3 cutscenes, and they have Arnold talking like obviously it's like a voiceover, right?
Yeah.
And then they have the researcher guy talking like an Austrian. So
it's like a conglomeration of
the two. So if you look at it, I kid you not, it's the most wild. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Why didn't they just put it in the movie?
Of course, because it's fucking stupid.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Right. I'll look it up. I'll try to put it in the show.
Yeah, look it up, or at least put the link in there. But it's absolutely ridiculous. It would make one line in the movie make sense. And in the movie, the colonel looks up after he's got shot. Claire Danes' dad, the guy that runs Skynet for the military. after he gets shot and he looks up at Arnold, he's all Captain Candy or Lieutenant Sergeant Candy or some weird name. And then he looks up, says this, and then everyone's like, doesn't matter because they're more worried about the fucking hunter killers.
He got
that are after-
blasted.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay,
Yep.
so Terminator.
Terminator by far is his most notable
Easy.
franchise. Yeah,
Easy.
there's no hands down.
Like you
And he
mentioned
was like
Conan,
willing
but
to
like,
be in almost everything Terminator 2, which is like
Oh, yeah.
kind
He
of
loves- he
uncommon
loves
for
it.
a lot of actors, honestly.
Yeah, like he was supposed to be in this new Predator movie. He's supposed to have a cameo as Dutch in that, but they said the rumor is that his role is not big enough, so
For
he
him
turned it
to
down.
be willing.
Yeah.
If you look what he's doing in future, it's like he's like some bad guy in some like weird like Russian movie.
Well, I mean,
That's
like,
fine.
It's like
whatever.
we'll just be in Predator.
hey man, one of Jean-Claude's best roles is when he first became a bad guy, which was in fucking Expendables 2.
Yeah, but we're never going to see this movie because it's a Russian movie.
Whatever.
I don't know. I mean,
hey man,
some
hey,
motherfucker
hard-
our
hey,
president's
hard- hey,
It's a
Russian,
part
so-
2 of a movie.
Hey, Hardcore Henry came out, and that shit was bad. That movie's fucking
I still
badass.
have to watch that.
Yeah, but no one saw it.
I don't give a fuck, but that movie's badass.
I didn't say it was going to be a bad movie. I'm just saying.
Who's the main guy in that? Who's the actor?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's some nameless. There's some nameless dude, but like Scarlto. What's the guy's name?
Scarlto Cropper.
Oh, yeah,
He's in that?
He's like the guy that you see out of your
Assistant?
eyes,
Oh,
your
nice.
eyes and
Yeah,
shit.
he's
so-
awesome, dude.
he-
Charlton's awesome.
Yes.